Yes. Soon enough, you will forget. Good evening, viewers and audience, and thank you once again for joining us in Prince William by Night Season 2, The Night Shift. I am Sylvanov, aka the Dark Druid, and I will be your host and storyteller for the evening. And it is my honor and privilege to introduce, or have them introduce themselves, the players for this evening.
Hi, I'm Ashe Daniels. I'll be playing Jacqueline Dearie.
Hey, good evening, K-Knights. I'm Chase. I'm going to be playing Jude St. Germain.
Hello, I'm Natalie Chapman, and I go by Alnestra and all the internet, and I'm playing Sara Strong.
What's up, family? I'm SailIrish on Twitch. I'll be playing Javier Grillo.
I'm Mark. I'll be playing Luke Lennox, and you can find me at Painting Plant on Instagram.
Hi. I'm Shassidy. You can find me on the interwebs as the Risa Rave, and I will be playing Blanca Rusa.
I am Michael Walsh, and you can find me on the interwebs as Ventrue1399, and I will be playing Carlisle Jacob Milliner.
Thank you once again for joining us, audience. We do this because we love to have fun, and we hope that we can share it with some other people that find it also entertaining. It's what we keep coming back and doing week after week. We love sharing this with you guys. So many things have happened. So some interesting information that our viewers may not know is that between recording sessions during the week, we have a very active play-by-post encouragement on our Discord server, and those events become canon in our story between scenes. Tonight's opening scene is a direct result of a great deal of that play-by-post affecting nearly the group at large. And it's exciting to bring that into play and into focus. And Dr. St. Germain, from your perspective, can you give our viewing audience a little synopsis of what's led up to this evening?
Yeah, absolutely. So the night started out, Jax and Jude were finally showing Jax like the ropes of different things that go along with the hospital. She showed an aptitude for picking up things very quickly, and then Jude started going into like medical procedures and stuff like that to accrue blood. But more importantly, how to be a vampire. That includes knowing who to talk to get information, knowing the ins and outs of being a kindred, and that included communicating with your touchstone. So we went to the cafe that's across the street. We interacted with my lovely touchstone, sweetheart, Angel, who does no wrong. And from there, we got hit with tremendous psychic energy, like as the shroud was ripping asunder and wraiths were screaming in anguish. We went back to the hospital to get a handle on things, to recoup, and then everyone went to the slab, as we call it, and wraiths were very unhappy. People took damage. It was like a haunted house. And then we made plans, and then that's it.
Excellent. Mr. Grillo, was there something that you wanted to bring up to everybody's attention before we got started this evening?
Oh, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and cash this in.
Oh, you want to go ahead and hand that over through the camera for me?
Mm-hmm.
Why, thank you, sir. So, another thing that our viewing audience may or may not be aware of is that yours truly, the Storyteller, have sent several of our players special gifts in the form of some custom-made coinage or ingots that actually have an in-game value. Some of them are boons that are you can cash in at any time in game. The other was a Storyteller boon, which was something that you could pull that you wanted to manifest in game. And these things are powerful tools and come with a cost. To all things there is a balance. And whilst you may ask the Storyteller for who knows what, be guaranteed that there is a cost must be paid. And that is always, of course, occurs in game. Mr. Grillo, after having an unnerving couple of nights, retreats to what was once known as the Marrakesh Farm, a property that, through family connections, have now been handed down and over to Javier Grillo to start construction on a new facility for the purpose of manufacturing arms and gunsmithing and having an outdoor training range, erasing the entirety of what used to be the Marrakesh Farm, leveling it to the ground, leaving not a sprig of grass, a puff of pollen, not a shred of wood, not a stick, not a stone was unturned, removed, or otherwise permanently erased from history. In its place has been constructed several ribbed buildings that are warehouse-sized. They've been erected and frameworks been put up. There's a couple of skeleton walls and such built on a third piece of the property. Looks like it could be some kind of storefront or workroom, maybe even a private residence. And there's a very large underground concrete type bunker structure that was already completed. In fact, it's the only completed thing on the property of the farm. Retreating there, Javier messages out and reaches out to the people he needs to see, Mr. C.J. Milliner and Dr. Jude St. Germain, both of which have had interesting couple of evenings. Gentlemen, I believe you were leaving the hospital.
You are. I was following Jude, and I would retrieve his keys for his hearse because he prefers me to drive as it is. We would probably be en route as soon as he is ready.
How have we left the rest of our persons here? Jacqueline, how about giving us a brief overview of what's gone on for you for the last couple of nights? Just real brief.
Yeah, spaced out. Definitely disconnected, confused, not sure what happened and what's going on, but definitely not myself. Unusual behavior.
I believe you were staying behind at the hospital, last seen in the morgue, or you went somewhere else?
I went with Sara to hunt.
Luke, how about you, man? The last couple of nights been a little off for you. A little busy beaver.
Definitely wild. After emerging from the Coule shoot you spent a cramped night in, He's been living with a ear to the sky and his eyes to the horizon, listening for any howls or anything. And at the behest of Mr. Milliner, he's been doing a little bit of detective work, talking to a few anarchs and independents in the Prince William domain, trying to figure out what the Ivory Towers and more specifically the Venture's operations are. He's uncovered a few things, relayed them to Milliner, and hopefully they'll form the basis of the family and the coteries' plans going forward.
Sarah Strong, how about you?
So Jax and I, we left the morgue, the slab, and we went to find. I'm basically offering Jax the ability to hunt because she was feeling a little hungry, and she's been acting odd. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on her. She is one of our new fledglings, but then again, so am I. So this gets to be a little bit unusual in how she's going to handle things going forward. So we're both kind of playing a little off typical.
Excellent. And I was just about to ask Miss Blanca Rosa. We will circle back. Javier, how's it been for you?
Been a rough few days.
Care to share anything? I'll take that as a no. Luke, what are you doing in the meantime? Sara and everybody had gone to the hospital morgue to speak with Dr. St. Germain and Carlisle, a couple others. You've seen a new face.
What's Luke been up to?
Yeah, what's he doing this evening? Is he hanging at the morgue as everybody starts to exit?
Yeah, Luke would have probably left. I mean, he went there with a very clear intention. Now that Luke has done this work for Mr. Milliner, he felt more inclined to state what he wants to join this coterie, to throw in his lot with them. And through a somewhat confrontational discussion with Jude, there's been not agreement, but a good sentiment that if things go well, he'll get what he desires.
Blanca Rosa, the last couple of nights, something really weird happened. Everybody ended up down at the morgue.
I had the intentions of simply speaking to Mr. Milliner about what had occurred at the chantry, and then it got weird where it was at with his family. I then would have spent time trying to find out more, maybe more about them, maybe more about what would cause wraiths to have this sort of reaction. And I would be trying to lay low as possible in order to heal.
Mentioning that, let's have everybody do a rouse check for the evening. We have a little bit of maintenance that needs to happen.
Do not get hungrier.
I'm good.
All right. Those of you who failed, what's your hunger at? 2? 2? 2? And the rest of you are at 1, I assume?
Yep.
Excellent. Miss Rosa, you had a harrowing occurrence happen, which requires us to do a certain selection of rolls. Aggravated damage is not so easy to resolve. And you got a couple of nights that we need to resolve this. So what I would like for you to do is to, I need you to rouse the blood 3 times to start with.
Okay.
You effectively have 4 aggravated damage that we need to account for.
Okay, so 2 successes. Yes.
out of the 3 rolls.
Yeah.
Okay, that will have reduced at least 1 of those aggravated damage. I'd like you to do another set of 3, please.
Okay. Ugh, not great. No successes.
Okay, so gain a hunger,
Okay.
and I need you to do another set of 3 rolls, please.
Okay. Better. 2 successes.
And you will again erase 1 more aggravated damage. So that represents the 3 evenings that you've had to focus your energy and time into healing. And that is the accumulative result of those 3 evenings.
Okay.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
So,
Okay.
in effect, you still have 2 aggravated damage, which means the actual wound itself is still very noticeable. It's not that, flesh and bits and tears are hanging in dregs and things like that, but it is still clearly hand regrowing, a forearm
I've-
misshapen.
I've had my arm wrapped.
Right.
And I've been wearing long sleeve clothing and gloves to hide the
Fantastic.
injury.
We will rejoin Mr. Milliner and Mr. Germain as they pull up to the farm. How was the conversation on the way over?
Short, tense, and to the point.
Excellent.
Did,
Out
did,
any other way.
did Javier say what he wants?
He reluctant to give any details over the phone, unfortunately, cousin.
Hopefully it's about this Mr. White situation and he's found a lead because it's past that month quota that I gave him.
I hope it's worth it, and I told him that over the phone. I specifically stated he better be about to catch on fire, have a pointy wooded object aimed at him, because it was very important for the events that currently happened just hours ago.
I don't think I mentioned, but Jax did well. She exceeded my expectations.
Well, I would hope so. I wouldn't pick just anybody to be my personal assistant.
Still curious about Mel, though.
As am I, however. Calling it a shared responsibility would be very messy. I think, even though you have decided to take on this project, I can't let you take the fall alone if things end up going south. But do not worry, cousin, or if things do go south, he will not be holding on to this second life for much longer.
Yeah, and then Luke actually surprised me. Looked me in the eye for the first time, and he had a fire about him. If he actually has a spine, then I look forward to acknowledging him very soon.
Luke is getting very advantageous, and told him I would speak to you about his compensation. He's requesting financial compensation as well as eventually land recognition, and I've told the young dog that we do not work the same as the Ivory Tower. We cannot give what is not ours. We can't just dish out pieces of land or recognize him for certain feats. I'm trying to push him to aim more towards our family ladder and gain acknowledgement to end accrement through that, and hopefully that will be incentive for him to build up his reputation in order to build up himself in our family, as opposed to attempting to aim for personal goals. However, we will see if he shall lean in that direction or not eventually.
On the payroll.
Yes.
The vehicle pulls up at the end of the property, There is a erected gate. It is, at first glance, looks to be chained closed, but at a closer glance, there is a padlock laying across a pair of links, but it is not actually closed and clasped. It's just holding the chain taut to keep the gate from swinging open and closed.
I would put the hearse in the park, and I would take a peek around, of course, before stepping out and opening it up before pulling in. As I pull in, I would get out again, make sure it's shut behind us in the same fashion, not fully shut.
Did you get out the second time? Give me a wits and awareness, please, Mr. Milliner.
Absolutely.
Can I also?
Absolutely. And Javier, you may as well. So Jude, what you might notice when CJ pulls in, gets out, leaves the door open as he's closing the gate again, an absence of expected sounds. Insects, bats, little rodents here and there, the slither or crinkle of grass leaves being bent over, deer wandering, none of those sounds. They are fantastically absent. Javier, you notice a pair of lights pull at the far end of the property. There's that light haze that comes over the tree line shortly before they're turned off. Someone's gotten here. It's probably your expected persons.
Excellent.
Where are you hanging out?
In the crypt, for lack of a better word.
You wouldn't have noticed the lights from the crypt.
Right, yeah, that's
I mean, save a security camera.
in time. Not yet, but
So where are you?
where do I need to be?
Somewhere not in underground. I mean,
Okay, so I'd probably be
imagine you had to come out of there
out.
to utilize the cell
Yeah.
phone to send those messages.
Yeah. So I would assume that they're on their way, so I'd probably be milling around the entrance to underground.
Excellent. So CJ and Jude drive up the rest of the way through the little winding path cut through the trees. And it is not as you remember it. The place has changed as I described it earlier. There is
I don't think
nothing
Jude's been
familiar.
here.
Yeah, Jude, you've been there once before they took down the temple. Weren't you there?
Yeah, because they tried to set it on fire.
No, I wasn't there for that.
Okay.
Then I guess he's
So-
never been there.
But yeah, so it's definitely not what you expected of a farm. There's the construction that I mentioned. But yeah, not probably what you pictured in your mind. CJ, you come up, get out of the vehicle, look around, you see the ribbed warehouse-like buildings, and where there's a clearing and a large concrete slab with a staircase that descends. You see Mr. Grillo kind of pacing a little bit, walking back and forth. I'll have both yourself and Jude roll a willpower for me, please.
On out the big guns.
Okay. And that's kind of a good roll considering the two of you's takes on the occurrences of the past few nights. Jude, the moment that you turn and latch eyes on the silhouette of Javier, there's that creeping doom rolls up and down your spine. The same sensation at the height of that evening returns. The crushing abyss, the nothingness, the void returns. Even echoes of those screaming race. The sound is clear in your mind's eye is recreating this, connecting with the silhouette of Javier. It's quite an intriguing sensation for you. CJ, a little different for you. Yeah, it's the darkness, but it's your flavor of darkness. That nothingness. The blanket of nothing. It's a comforting hand on an open wound. It's a weird mix, but it's as fresh as it was the moment it occurred. And it happens the moment your eyes pick out the silhouette of Javier. It's tangible. You can almost taste the burnt steak taste of space. It has that scent and quality of something dead and gone. Javier seems a bit different to the both of you. Any use of auspex or Oblivion Sight would definitely warrant a roll at this point.
I think at that point I would have activated Oblivion Sight.
Excellent, sir.
Sentience.
By all means, your rolls, gentlemen. Rouse if necessary. Fantastic. You both see something shadowy and demonic, even in the darkness of the woods. Something riding Javier's shoulders. It looks like it could be gnawing on his aura. You're not sure. But it's demonic. It's dark. It emits a taste of bitter evil in the back of your throat.
Would be out of the vehicle at this point, but I would come around to the passenger side to open up the door for Jude, because I would be checking, making sure it was safe for them to come out first. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, cousin?
Yeah. I think that this might be a trip worthwhile after all.
At least one of us is excited about this.
Do you feel how terrible that is?
I do.
You're not excited?
As much as I enjoy your company and our family bond, I don't share your sentiments when it comes to the supernatural. I push paper.
Let's go see what mess we've got ourselves in.
We head over.
Javier, you see them exit the vehicle. They both pause and are clearly looking directly at you. They exchange a few words and then approach. Would you care to describe yourself as they approach?
Javier is dressed as he normally is. Waibera, sunglasses, no hat, but looks disheveled. Hasn't, freshened up in a few days. Looks like it's been a little rough.
You look like shit.
I feel like it too.
What he failed to describe to you was, if you've ever seen American Gods, and you see the gods when they show themselves to each other and they have those flamey eyes, his are kind of like that, but it is inky void evaporating from behind his sunglasses. There is a smoky tendril of the void exiting from his eye sockets. And it is skin-crawlingly unnerving.
You see why I couldn't come see you at the hospital.
I think my face at this point is like 3 inches from yours, and I'm just like observing.
Would you join me inside?
Now, Jude, you used Sense the Unseen, correct? And you used
Correct.
Oblivion Sight? I'll give you both a Wits and Insight as you gain and close the distance.
Zero.
Jude, you're a little enamored with what you see right now to be observant past what's directly in front of you. The manifestation of the void in this manner is new. It's exciting. CJ, for you, not so much. You see the unmistakable trails and traces in his Oblivion-esque aura of, well, diablerie. Its inky tendrils spread out pretty prominently. He's done something. There's no question.
Now I'd follow in.
You guys descend the stairs into what Javier will at some point refer to as his crypt. And it opens into a fairly sizable underground box. Javier, feel free to describe that for our viewers and players.
It's much as you described currently, basically a concrete box. I've been out of town and unable to make it presentable. So it's very rough. The one thing I did manage to do was light some incense, so the place will absolutely reek of sandalwood.
So why have you brought us here? Let's continue this.
Where to begin? Did Miss Strong tell you I was called back south?
Yes.
So, Don Pisanob sent for me. What I assumed was a progress report on my work here and with Armand and the rest of you. That was not all I was there for. Apparently, I was sent away because I was already proven not to be involved in a plot by my sire and grandsire to overthrow the Dawn. And I was justly or unjustly rewarded, depending on your point of view. The choice was either eat them or watch them suffer a far worse fate. I am sure you have heard some rumors of this, Doctor.
Of the Amarath?
No. No. Enjoying the rest of existence as a staked heart on a pile.
Oh, yes. Well, your sire and grandsire were foolish enough to get caught with their plans, so can't say that I mourned them.
Well, I may have chose poorly. Not wanting to witness that particular spectacle, I chose to slake my thirst.
Oh, you chose to carry that baggage with you, huh?
Yes.
Speak of it. I see it consuming at your soul as we speak.
More than likely.
What do you plan on ping-ponging around with such power now?
Well, Mr. White will be no problem at this point. But beyond that, my plans remain unchanged. I have no intent other than to help us grow.
Well, coincidentally, myself and cousin here were just speaking of that. Your time is almost up.
Well, I better get to it.
Figuratively, not literally yet.
That's good to know. It has been a trying few nights.
Are you the cause of everything that happened here?
What everything?
You didn't feel anything in the past evening?
Not that I haven't felt in the last couple of days.
There's been a grievous shredding of the shroud. I'm sure all of us felt it in a specific form or fashion. I barely kept myself and presented myself from driving. I had to contact Rico in order to transport me to the hospital. I was out on business. Met up with a majority of the group at the slab, which most of us shared similar painful experience. I thought after seeing your fantastic visage here, you could have figuratively shed some light upon that, but apparently not.
I wouldn't be so sure. My senses are not back to normal.
I think it's safe to assume that you had a hand in it.
That's probably fair. And apologies for any trouble.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, this is actually interesting.
Power, why not?
No,
It is
I'm
business.
saying, why are you apologizing?
I'm in a precarious position. I am a friend of the family, but I am not of your family. I would not want to cause an offense that could not be resolved. I mean when I said my work here will continue.
Well, just note your work isn't just showing to us, it's being expelled out to other clans. And others have taken notice, so before you decide to shoot off any more spectral fireworks, be as cautious as possible to cover your steps.
Fair.
No, I think this is good. Show everyone why they need us.
Possibly. In the meantime, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I highly doubt you're going to be able to cover that with heavy mascara. I think you're definitely going to have to figure out something about all that.
Interesting.
Oh, should Dr. Weiss and Jax know about this Mr. White situation? Finally put this thing to rest.
Yes, I look forward to completing that as soon as possible.
Likewise.
I wanted to speak with the two of you first, for obvious reasons. But if there are others you think would be okay with this knowledge, so be it.
CJ, I would like to give the farm estate to Javier and a portion of it to Luke.
To Luke?
Yes.
Are you sure that's a good idea, cousin?
Sure. That way, Luke has someone to watch just in case they fuck up, and Javier has a convenient way to message and get a hold of us in person without actually appearing himself.
I was actually going to request to you when we got to the subject of Luke to give him property a little east of us, across the street from the hospital, between us and the local chantry.
That will be the next step.
As you wish.
I think that could be allocated to Dr. Weiss and Jax.
I just figured it could be part of a olive branch to the Tremere. Provide them some protection in exchange for having an ally so close.
They also have those allies.
Your will shall be done.
Is there anything else?
I don't believe so.
I trust the Blood and Tissue Center comes along as one would expect.
Well, I will be personally overseeing that if you're out.
I'm hoping this is a temporary situation.
Javier, is your Sense the Unseen still rolling? Or, sorry, Jude.
Yes.
So the whole time that you've followed him and you've been talking, you see whatever that shadow is on his back actively gnawing. Towards the end of your conversation, it looks up and looks as if it's trying to reach and scratch at you without leaving Javier's shoulder. It leans out. Never quite grasp, but you can sense that it has a desire of its own.
Luckily for you, Javier, everything about this existence is temporary.
Yes. I did hear one other item of note. During the second drink, I heard wasn't more than a whisper, but it sounded like a name.
Whose name?
Shalem.
Yep. He said that out loud.
Three successes.
You're familiar with the name. You've probably heard Milliner say it once or twice or mention it.
CGA, do any of your friends know about this?
I haven't spoken to them since. You've been my priority.
Appreciate that. This might actually have to do with Jax's Mel's real sire.
I can definitely look into it.
Plan. Speaking of which, what is on the agenda for the rest of the night?
How early still is it, Storyteller?
Early. It was not hard to rise the past 2 evenings.
If anything, I think we could investigate that or check up with everybody else, possibly at a neutral position where we're not going to draw too much attention, like Three Monkeys.
There's a rear entrance, right?
I believe so.
Probably best if I use that one.
I think you should find a local spirit of Halloween and maybe find a couple of comfy masks.
You're hilarious.
I tried.
I think I will call Sara.
Cell phone or at the Three Monkeys? It really doesn't matter. Sara, your
Cell
phone
phone.
rings.
Hello?
Yes, Sara, we will be using your establishment if that is okay with you.
When will you be there?
We are coming from the farm.
Okay, I'll hightail it back. If I'm not there first, I'm sure Joe's around.
Would text Jacqueline. Business is about to pick up. Meet us over at the Three Monkeys.
And I send back, will do, with a heart.
Then I would text Luke. Be careful what you wish for. Meet us at the Three Monkeys.
No response.
And then I would text Blanca Rosa. I might have some more answers for you. Meet us at the Three Monkeys.
There's a few moments that passes that might make you think that I did not get the message. And then I send I'll be there.
If
So, Jax-
there's nothing else, cousin, I would escort Jude back to the hearse and I don't know.
I will follow you.
Go ahead, Sara.
So, Jax, I think we need to leave. Unfortunately, our night of partaking is going to be cut short. I'm sure we can find you something to drink.
Oh, I know you have some good stuff back at the Three Monkeys, so it'll be okay.
Yep, let's go. Get into my car and we'll head over.
I seem a little bit slow, kind of. Even the way that I talk is slower, almost sultry. And I follow after you.
Excellent.
Yes.
We switch scene as two vehicles leave the farm, heading back south to the heart of Manassas, to the Three Monkeys. Jacqueline and Sara, you haven't gone too terribly far, but the thought of not hunting is nagging at the back of both your minds. You are set out on a mission. it's hard not to. I would dare say that we would probably try and convince each other of reasons why wouldn't we? How many times have they kept us waiting? How many times have we been at their beck and call? There's all these excuses. The beasts in the back of your mind start rolling through. A willpower check from the two of you. Fledglings and their beasts.
Oh.
Jax, you've been around the block at least a couple of months, weeks, more, at least in the undead state. You've learned a little bit of coping mechanisms for that voice, the ever-present thirst. Sara, not so much. That voice is pretty damn loud. You've waited for this for 100 years. Finally, welcome to the night. Say goodbye to the day. Say hello to the hunger. It is hand in hand the loudest voice you've ever heard come from yourself.
I try to get her attention. Sara. I know. I see that face. I know what's going on. And it's okay. We can feed in a little bit, but we really have to get to the others first. And I promise you, as soon as we get the chance, we can go out and do what we have to.
Young couple jogs by, bodies glistening in the street lights and the moonlight.
Sara? Come on.
What?
Are you okay?
It's different.
I know.
This is different.
But I'm here with you. You're not alone. And I take her hand in mine, and I tug her along. Sara, come on.
Such a weird counter perspective. The centenarian taking the motherly or the ear of a child from her. What?
It'll be okay. We can wait.
What is this kid? You've been waiting for this. And look, they're right there. It's like they just got served up. All you gotta do is step out and grab. No one would know the difference. There's nobody else around. You're both hungry. You're helping her. You're taking care of the young one.
We can. We know how. Oh, I want to.
I'm still gonna be pulling along. It's almost like leading the sheep away. Come on, little sheep, come on.
Sara is staring at the couple. She's quite literally starting to head back from Jax, heading towards the couple, saying, "We can."
No. Sara, no, Sarah, really? And I go after her again, and I grab her arm gently. Please. Please. We're in public. There might be other people around. This might not be a good idea right now. And there's 2 of them, not 1.
There's an echo of all those warnings you've heard over the past number of decades. Public is bad. It's the one saving grace, probably, that one piece of knowledge that had been ground into you for so long.
You're right.
Okay. I know it's hard. Believe me. I know. You look pretty delicious to me too. But we have other important things to take care of right now. So, let's get to it.
Family first.
Huh. Yeah, family first. And just walking forward. Away from the couple.
Back to the car. Getting Sara in. Luke, you're the first to arrive at the Three Monkeys.
Yeah. Luke's behind the desks. I'm behind the bar, polishing off glass of the evening. Same profession. After leaving the slab, he just figured he'd come back here. All he really wanted done that night, done.
And you see the night crew wrapping up, with the exception of Joe with his usual activities in the kitchen. He's working hard away. A couple of waitresses and one of the other persons just cleaning up. They nod, they acknowledge you. You hear him call out, "Good night, Joe." Joe rallies back, "Good night." And they exit the front door as Blanca Rosa pulls into the Three Monkeys. You do see a pair of persons exiting, and they don't look familiar. They definitely look the wait staff. You know, someone's got an apron chucked over a shoulder. Someone else is like stuffing a wad of bills into a clutch purse. And yeah, they're conversing and heading off to wherever they're going.
Okay. Well, Blanca would step out of the car, tell her driver to wait here, keep his eyes peeled, and to message me should anything occur on the outside that I need to know about, given the events that occurred last time I was at the Three Monkeys. And then I will step away and into the Three Monkeys, completely ignoring the 2 that went by. Yeah, and I'd head in.
Walking in, the place looks like it's been freshly cleaned. You can scent the cleaners and the disinfectants in the air, mixed in with restaurant sounds and noises. You can hear some clattering coming from the kitchen. There's some smells wafting out that are oddly alluring. And Luke, hanging up, posted up on an elbow behind the bar.
Pour myself a little whiskey or something.
The 2 of you actually met yet?
We did.
We've met briefly on a number of occasions, though we've never exchanged words.
Yes.
Excellent.
Both in, I'd say, harrowing situations.
Fair.
Yeah. She will immediately walk up to where he's sitting, or standing rather, because he's by the bar. Correct? Yeah. And she'll immediately sit down, kind of fold her hands in front of herself and say, "How are you?"
I'm doing good. I wonder about you, though. And he's going to take his glass of whiskey, he's going to put it down in front of her.
She will simply look at it and, other than the noises that I heard from the kitchen, there's nobody milling about kind-wise
Nope.
around the sort of... Okay. And
Not that you notice.
Okay. She will take her glove off and show him her healing hand.
It looks like she got messed up. There's some definitive scar tissue that's been crusting over the obvious signs that you've seen before of vampiric healing. But whatever did that had to be awful. And you can pretty much put 2 and 2 together to figure out what exactly happened. It's not like you weren't there.
I think I actually saw it.
Yeah, you were on the staircase with me. Yeah, I should show the hand. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you came here for that then? Well, I'm here.
I put the glove back on, say, "Oh no, I came because I was called by your friends, I imagine."
Oh, okay, I get you. I thought you were coming to say thanks, seeing as I, saved you and everything.
Oh, did you save me? What I remember is you running up the stairs. I passed out and then woke up to Mr. Milliner saving me.
What I recall is you shooting a werewolf for no reason, getting mauled, me shooting the werewolf to get it off you, and then running like any sensible person should.
Except she didn't get hunted, did she?
There is a moment where she considers imparting that information on him. And there's a flicker across her face of rage that is unnerving and monstrous. And for a second, you may feel like she's going to launch over this bar and attack you. But instead, what she does is she pulls out a flask and drinks from it, closes it, puts it back, and says, "Touché."
What's in your flask?
The blood that was given to me as a gift from a fellow kindred.
Yeah, she unscrews that cap and the unmistakable coppery smell hits you quick as can be. You two are in close proximity and you are a trained sniffer.
Yes. Does it smell like vitae to me? Or
Oh, yes.
Blood? Oh.
It has...
So, who called you then?
I received a text message from Mr. Milliner saying that he needed to give me more information about the experience that we had at the slab. Or, yeah, the hospital. I wouldn't know that it's called the slab.
The morgue.
The place where they keep dead people.
Well, I suppose we're waiting for the same thing then. You have a habit of showing up to domains unannounced, it seems.
I make it my business to be present when needed. Can always use friends.
You won't answer.
Do you have friends? Do you have friends, Luke?
He's got me, yo!
Do I have friends? No, I think it's always been a bit unusual to have friends, given we are as we are.
That's fair. But friends can get you out of situations like getting hunted by wolves.
I found that's usually not true.
You have terrible friends then. Maybe I can help you.
Luke,
Friend.
when last you used your feral claws and your animalistic sight, which of those features stuck around with you?
So, okay, I thought that only happens during frenzy.
It can happen at frenzy and when you are dancing on that line.
Okay. I'd say his ears and the back of his ears and his hairline have become like a more matted fur So his ears are like covered with more hair. His hair is like thicker, curlier. It looks less like hair and more like fur.
Blanca, what's an awareness, please?
Okay. Let me double check what I have in those. And awareness, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Make sure you substitute your blood dice.
Yes, sir. So that'll be okay. Okay. It has to be doubled. All right. So that is 3 successes.
3 successes. So when you mention being hunted by werewolves, you could swear that you saw Luke's ears twitch and the matted, clumpy hair at the back of his neck just peeking out from the sides seemed to maybe stand up as if hackles on a dog. The subject's prickly with him for sure.
I repeat myself and say, I can be your friend.
What kind of friendship are we talking?
I can offer a safe place, sanctuary for those who are hunted, those who are treated poorly. I can offer information. I can get information. As of right now, I think that's a good start to a friendship.
Well, I've never been one to sleep where anyone else tells me. That's the most dangerous place to be.
Merely an offer.
Merely an offer. Well, if you're serious about that, why don't you let me drink what's in that flask of yours? He looks at you intently and see his tongue move across his lips. He knows what it is.
Her eyes narrow practically to slits. If she wasn't friends with who she was friends with, she'd probably kill him. So she takes it out, and she takes the cap off, and she hands it over, and says, "Nothing to hide. Feel free to have a sip."
He takes it and he drinks. Not the whole thing, but maybe half of it.
You can hear the kind of, you know, the squeaking sound that like leather makes when you squeeze your hands together. You can hear that. She's but doesn't say anything and lets him, but she's daggers through her eyes at him.
Luke, what was your hunger at?
My hunger is at 1.
Okay, yeah, you can't go down any further.
I know. I'm not doing it for hunger.
Right. No, I get it.
He's attempting to establish dominance. That's what's happening here.
Hey, at least he didn't lift his leg.
That's fair. Then I'd have to kill him. So he puts it down. She'll take it back, and she will take the sleeve of her shirt and wipe the rim of it, and then close it off and put it away.
Someone you know, or did you take it?
Someone I know. It was a gift.
Sara and
Well,
Jax.
like I said, good to have friends.
I suppose if it gets you that, it's always nice to have friends.
Sara and Jax, as you approach the 3 monkeys after a little bit of courting danger in the middle of the street, you notice as you pull around, there is indeed a car that you're not familiar with. There's someone sitting in the driver's seat as they backed into the parking space so as they could see out oncoming traffic. Sara, as is your way, you don't pull into the front parking lot, but rather drive around the side of the building slowing enough to get a look at the vehicle before pulling into the rear of the three monkeys. Do you walk back around the front, or do you come through the rear door?
I go through the rear door.
Finding that it is unbarred and unlocked, it's usually a good indication that Joe's there and things are cool for the moment. You are definitely greeted with a loud, chipper, and busily cooking away Joe. Hey, mamacita! And Blanca and Luke, you all hear this bellowing out from the kitchen.
How's your evening been?
Hey, it's quiet, chica. We got some friends. Some new friends.
I
Which
smile
ones?
at that.
I didn't catch her name yet, but Luke's here.
Okay.
I sent everybody else home. Everything's cool, boss. Hey,
Hi,
Jax.
Joe.
You want me to
How's it
cook up
going?
something nice?
Yes, please.
I'm on it. And he
I
dashes into
definitely
the
would like something. I'm rather hungry.
the cooler, into the walk-in fridge, and you can hear him rustling around, gathering things up before he explodes back out of the fridge with a tub full of things in tubs with little date stickers on them. He is the consummate professional, and he quickly eschews you both out of his kitchen.
He'd prefer if we left.
Understandable. He's a good guy. You got a good
Hey, you don't know.
He's an excellent chef.
one. So we head out of the kitchen.
Luke, Blanca, exiting the kitchen, you see Sara Strong, closely followed by Miss Jacqueline Dearie.
How's it been tonight, Luke?
Same old, same old. Came here after the hospital, and Joe always keeps the place down, and I have to do too much work.
Jax Luke is sitting at the bar, intimately close across from a new face. Blanca, how about you describe yourself as they enter?
So she's wearing sort of like an entire, I guess it's called catsuit, that is made of a soft black material that pretty much covers her from neck down. She's got red gloves on, red heels, and gray eyes, scar, like a Joker smile on her face. Her hair's pulled back in an elegant bun. She looks a little tense right now, but like she wants to fight. But she's holding it together, being respectable. This is not her place, this is Sarah's place, so she is, not gonna kill her staff. And she raises the hand and waves.
Jax, likewise. Once you describe yourself for Blanca, is this the first time you two have laid eyes on each other?
Right. So Jax is slightly taller than average for a girl. She's slender, very fit, model even, porcelain doll looking, with dark brown hair and very distinct blonde strands in the front. She has jade eyes, and she is currently wearing a burgundy dress with a corset waist belt. And as she sees you, she gives a small wave. She looks a little bit confused and slightly concerned. And I'm going to activate Sense the Unseen.
Fantastic. And
Sara would introduce Jacqueline Dearie. This is Blanca Rose.
Blanca will put a hand out to shake her hand.
And as I go to shake your hand. I seem a little bit hesitant, but I do shake, and it's not a firm grip. It's kind of light.
Is anybody blushed of life?
Not at all.
Luke is.
And did you roll your rouse for that, sir?
Nope.
Do I catch anything around Blanca as I shake her hand?
Good.
Blanca, does she? Roll your aspects and wits, please.
Yeah, I got 2 successes.
I believe it's wits and aspects.
Mhm.
Yes. 2 successes. A moment. One must consult a character sheet.
Sara would be blushed as well.
And succeed or fail your rouse check.
I succeeded.
There's something different about Blanca. You're not sure what. Your experience and knowledge of things not that well rounded. But she's different than the other kindred you have met or experienced.
I remember you from that night.
I was
How
there.
are you doing?
Fine. A little confused. Strange what occurred. The whole time that Blanca's talking to her, she hasn't let go of her hand. She's still holding on to it, and she's staring like as if trying to stare into Jax. Yeah. That's all.
I fidget a little bit, slightly uncomfortable by this stare down. In fact, I actually look over my shoulder, looking around, just making sure, this moment between us is just between us, even though it's really uncomfortable.
At the notice of her kind of that being uncomfortable, Blanca will smile and she'll lift her hand, she'll kiss her knuckles, and then she'll let her go and go sit back down at the bar.
And
She's real friendly.
I just
Beautiful
kind of the spot and just, yep, I'm gonna go sit down.
You park up at the bar, or do you go to a table, or do you join them, or what?
I join everyone. I think
What
they're
about
at
you,
the bar,
Sara?
correct? Everyone's at the bar.
Yeah.
You pull up a
I
stool.
take up my usual seat at the bar as I tend to do. It's the spot where I can see the front door most clearly.
If there were a
The
head of
spot
the
where I
bar,
feel-
that's where Sarah's parked. It's kind of at the far corner where it backs up to the kitchen, where she has a stool. There's an ashtray there with probably a couple of old cigarettes. Who knows when the last time she actually smoked? But there it is, with a notepad and a piece of paper and a pencil or two sitting there, and a stack of
Pick up the
receipts.
pencil. Fidgeting with the pencil a little bit. Still thinking about that couple. Been playing in my mind and waiting for people to show up.
So, what you been up to tonight, boss? Luke asks.
No, not much. We just left the hospital not long ago.
Just avoiding some
Unfortunately.
trouble. Potential trouble, but nothing I couldn't handle.
Oh, glad that Miss Strong is somebody looking out for her then.
I mean, that's what we do around here, right? We look after each other. And I actually look at Luke the same way Blanco looked at me.
And you notice Luke hasn't actually looked at you the whole time he's been talking to you.
Hi, Luke.
Yes.
How have you been?
I've just been making new friends, he says, looking to Blanca.
I see that. I haven't seen you in a while since last debacle of fun entities.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we met outside of a hospital.
Yeah. Been kept busy, huh?
I try to, I work here a lot.
Yeah, same here. Working for CJ as his personal assistant.
That's an interesting job.
It is. It's been very interesting. Messy. Also, kind of fun bothering him with my tricks until I get stuck filing papers again, but that's fine. It's worth it.
Business is business. There's always papers to file.
Oh, he is definitely about that business.
Joe
Blanca
crashes.
says nothing through this whole thing. You see that she's just smiling, and it's weird, but she's just smiling hearing this exchange.
Joe breaks out of the
and
kitchen. Coming in between with a tray of 4 small dessert dishes with spoons and what looks like some kind of burgundy, watery, almost tapioca-like texture looking something that vaguely smells of blood. Sets it down. It doesn't keep you going. I gotta get busy. And he trucks off back into the kitchen, disappearing.
Please, it's for everybody. Let's make sure that we properly supply hostess duties to all of our guests. Luke, would you grab some plates from behind the bar?
Of course. Luke goes down, he grabs some plates, and he sets them out before the 4 of them.
I believe there'll be 3 more joining us.
Yeah, I got the message.
That's right. I'm surprised they're not here yet.
As if on cue. Jude and Mr. Milliner pull up to the front of the 3 monkeys and hearse. Again, there's a vehicle. I think one of you might recognize it, or if not it, the person sitting and trying to be inconspicuous in the driver's seat as they watch the hearse approach.
Yeah, Milliner would recognize Blanca's Mustang and driver.
Welcome to the park. Anything you want held back specifically, cousin, before we head inside?
I trust your discretion.
Well, Javier, I thought you were in your own vehicle because you said you were following them.
Back.
Aha.
Yeah, my bad. I thought he was talking to me.
I do pay attention.
Proverbial
I
follow.
promise.
They're all cousins.
You are.
I'm gonna, yes, the incident being associated with Javier will not make that assumption.
Absolutely. Anything else?
No, everything else is good for them to know.
Very well.
get out of the vehicle.
That's what I.
CJ, the driver of Blanca's vehicle, actually acknowledges you with a mildly perceptible nod from behind his shaded windows.
I've seen him a handful of times up until now to give him the.
Immediately, there's the unmistakable blue tint glow of a cell phone screen lighting up, reflecting off of their face. Unmistakable. Can't miss it. Yes, Blanca, you get a quick text. There's a M dot arrived. It's a capital M period arrived. +1.
Blanca will look at her phone and simply send a thank you. Keep an eye out.
There's no
And
response.
put her phone away.
CJ and St. Jude, you send the forward stairs and entering the building, see a gathering at the bar. Luke behind the bar, finishing setting a few places up on the bar. Sara at her corner next to Jax and Blanca.
Hi, CJ, Jude, Javier.
No,
And there's
Javier's not there
something
yet.
off. Oh, okay. So CJ and Jude. There is something off with the way she's talking, her movements, as soon as you see her.
Are you drunk?
No. Why would you
Get
ask
laid.
that?
I'm gonna walk into the kitchen.
Hey, what's up, amigo? You hungry?
Yes, but could you leave the back door propped open just for a minute? You probably don't want to observe it.
Oh, okay.
I'll walk right back.
As far as you know, he complies with whatever you said as you exit back out.
I would give Jacqueline the hang on a moment. I would head over to Sara and I would extend a hand to her cousin.
Cousin.
How are we this evening?
Finding myself a bit hungry. Sorry.
Well, you seem to be in the right spot for that, and I see the carpenter is continuing to do excellent work.
Yes, they're working on fixing up all that damage.
Very well.
There are the smells of sawdust, new wood, fresh paint emitting from the basement.
You would take a couple steps over to Jacqueline. Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm okay.
Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Yeah. Okay. It's been weird, after what happened, but yeah, I'm fine.
Can I see if she's okay?
Wits and awareness, by all means.
Okay.
Somebody in
Or even
your
wits and
position,
insight.
I'm expecting to be more on edge than the way that you're acting. You're acting like you just got laid.
CJ, that is, no, really, I'm fine.
Oh,
Are
and I
those-
got the plant in my office. Yeah, no,
Oh, come on.
Blanca
not gonna happen.
will chuckle at that.
Yeah, Jude,
lightens up
you're
the
paying
play.
attention to her body language, the words, and all of that. She is definitely not acting herself. There is no question in your brain that something is up with Jax.
And then is that for me with my 4?
Likewise, Sara. You can read her almost like a book. Blanca, for you haven't known her that long to know what would be different.
Okay.
So it was
Go
a
ahead.
crit.
Oh, and while I'm talking to CJ, I'm actually rubbing the spot on my knuckles where Blanca kissed.
Because of my, I guess, occult knowledge, it would be. Would I be able to see if this is something that is influenced by some sort of by something outside, the realm of even for kindred, what is normal?
So, what Blanca can discern is that maybe her curiosity is getting the better of her. These are all really new people. There was some weirdness happen. It clearly affected, as far as the Chantry, her behavior could be a direct result of that, or any number of experiences she might have had. I think it's been alluded to you that she is a fledgling, like she's fresh as a daisy. So her behaviors may just be she hasn't even settled into her own life yet. You remember that. You can recall. It's not been that long for you. Those are fresh, raw emotions, easy to recall. And you start correlating things you've experienced to what she may be displaying or might be trying to communicate. Sara, on the other hand, Jax, she reads you like a book. What is it that you're hiding?
So one of our spirit friends may have caught a ride with Jax.
So Sara would sense the unseen.
By all means, please make your roll of wits and aspects. Jude, you had 4 successes, right?
Yes. Oh, sorry, you said Jude. My bad.
Jude, likewise, you definitely know that something's different. You're a practiced observer of human, behavior.
I also roll I've seen really spooky shit tonight, and I'm like,
For sure.
Got 2 successes.
APIs from slow. Hold on one moment.
Take your time. It's okay.
3.
So, Sara, this skill that you're toying with is new. It's unpracticed. It's fun to practice for sure. Trying to see what isn't there because that stuff pulls at your vision. You're not certain. Something's different and it's not entirely corporeal. Jude? Yeah, there could be something hanging out around her. What it is hasn't manifested itself in genuine. But yeah, there's been enough weird shit for you to assume that she could possibly have a passenger. It would not surprise you over the past 48 hours.
Well, we will put a pin in whatever weird thing is happening to you. We'll table it for now. We'll come back to it.
Javier, as you followed them in, maybe a couple of minutes or so behind, you do see the hearse parked neatly out front, a Mustang, some individual sitting in the driver's seat, keeping their eyes open. if you drive past and around the corner, as you pull into the rear of the Three Monkeys, you do see Sara's car there. You see Joe's motorcycle, and the back steel door seems to be emitting a little bit more light than it should, as if it was purposely open.
I head straight forward.
You park the car, get out. You can smell as you approach the smells that you've become familiar with. Joe's working some fucking magic with something, and it smells fantastic. You walk in, there's a brief, hey, hi, and suddenly he turns and looks. You all hear this loud crash from the kitchen, the sound of metal clanging to the floor, a slew of Hispanic curses erupts from Joe in a voice of concern, mild fear, even a hint of terror. You can even hear him almost giving up a Hail Mary in Espanol. You could almost feel the air moving as he begins to give himself the cross and the crucifix. Javier, there he collapses, backing away from you towards the fridge as you enter. Yeah, he noticed you for sure. There's no question.
I'm just gonna basically kind of and walk.
As you walk to the entrance, Luke opens up the door and you can see his left hand has claws out.
Sarah's getting up and going to Joe.
So many
Blanca's
things happen at
standing.
once.
Blanca
First of all-
is standing, knife out.
When the door opens, everybody who turns and looks at Javier will need to make a willpower check.
Oh, good.
CJ and Jude, you've experienced this before, and now for the second time this evening. Gotcha.
For willpower, I rolled the number that I have, right?
That's the total unspent willpower.
Okay.
That includes less the aggravated damage, right?
Correct. Although that should have abated by now.
Oh, okay.
It's been a couple of days.
I've been rolling back.
I've been rolling like it was there, yes.
Yeah, same.
Fair, we will keep with that. We will keep with that, absolutely.
Okay. I got two. I think they're, two critical successes.
That would be 4
Right.
successes.
Okay, 4 successes.
Yep, I got 4 too.
If you got 2 10s or you got 2 of the onks with the daggers, that
I
is
got 2
4
10s.
successes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I got 4.
So if you had 3 or less, you are overcome with the same sensation the night things went weird 2 nights ago, when the darkness affected each of you differently. Luke, there's that awful feeling of predator prey. You're not sure which you are in this very moment, but it is definitely emanating from Javier. There is no question. There is an inky, misty, milky fire emanating from behind his sunglasses. It is fucked up. They emit nothing. There's no reflection. In fact, light seems to collapse into the little mist or fire as it rises from behind his sunglasses. They emit no shadows. They're just there. Jax,
Mr. Oh,
this, whatever the hell's going on with him, reaches into a dark part of you and calls it forward. It feels almost like an attack. His mere presence puts you at defense. For any social interactions between yourself and Javier, you will be down a dice for the rest of the evening. He has an effect on you, and it's not cool.
Grillo, what the fuck happened to you?
Been a long few days.
What the fuck's wrong with your eyes?
Yes. As I said, a long few days. We can discuss.
Sure.
It might be
Come
best
in.
if we stay away from the windows. Let's head upstairs to the room where it's not
Excellent
as
choice.
open.
As he
And
approaches
I need to take care of Jill.
as he approaches a couple of steps away from the kitchen door and towards the gathered those at the bar, I need everybody to do a wits and awareness, please.
Would my enhanced senses help with this or no?
Certainly.
That's 5.
5 and a crit.
2 or more was not a difficult thing to catch, although Jax is clearly preoccupied with whatever the fuck is emanating from Javier to even pay attention to anything else save a plane crashing through the building. The rest of you notice that the 4 dishes that were previously served up to Sara, Luke, Jax, and Blanca have molded into a black soupy mess. Almost to the point that it's actually emitting spores and collapsing into dust.
Hey, friend. He says,
Yes?
talking to Blanca, check your flask.
I pull out my flask and I'm gonna take a look inside.
You unscrew it, and there's the scent of decay.
I'm gonna just put it down on the counter.
The couple of potted plants scattered around, the flowers on tables, wilt, dying.
Okay.
As he enters the room proper, following Sarah's direction to move upstairs. The closer he gets, the faster things die. It's unmistakable that he is the cause of this.
As I'm walking, following them, I'm gonna like lean in towards the kitchen and be like, I told you you didn't want to see this, Joe.
Joe is almost cowering in a corner, and whatever was cooking has spilled to the ground, now looks a black, mushy mess. Whatever things were prepped in on the counter have desiccated in some way.
When this is happening, I want to look at Jax. How is she reacting to Javier?
I'm trying to get as far away from him as possible. I am like
Okay.
the first one upstairs, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll be the last person up the stairs.
Sarah, you
Sarah actually goes into the kitchen first.
Okay.
turn, you see exactly as described. Joe's kind of cowered back in a corner. The things that you were expecting to see bowls of this, bowls of that, something searing on a stove, all have become something else, as if they had been sitting there for a week, a month, who knows, maybe a year. Some of it looks, it's all desiccated, and the scent of death follows Javier's wake.
I quickly take the thing off the stove, turn the stove off, try and dispose of whatever I can easily without having to do a lot of cleaning. And then I go to Joe and I try.
You try what?
I try to look in his eyes and say, forget.
Awesome. So we're using cloud memory.
Yes.
It surprisingly is not difficult. This man has tasted your blood. You've begun the process of bonding him. He's been brainwashed 9 ways to Sunday by God who knows what before you, and his mind seems to take to this very, very easily. He looks up
One
as
success.
you raise his chin. His eyes kind of go in that aimless stare as you whisper to him that this didn't happen. And as far as you can tell, Joe accepts that. Quietly regains himself in a short few seconds. Quickly looks around. Shit, boss. I'm sorry. Let me get this cleaned up. I'm so sorry. Let me take care of this.
Joe, it's okay. I just think that maybe it's best if you took off for the night. You seem to have fallen. I want to make sure that you are feeling okay.
He instinctually rubs the back of his head as if he had bumped it, whether he did or not. Your suggestions are quite fluid with him. It's pretty cool. You know what? Yeah. You know, I'm gonna go take a couple of aspirin and get a nap. Cool, boss.
Cool. Take care of yourself.
Without another word, he exits the back door. In a couple seconds, you hear his motorcycle roar to life, and its echoing engine fading as he drives off.
I lock up the back door. I go through to the bar. I lock up the front door. I make sure that all of the entrances into the Three Monkeys are secure. And then I head upstairs to the upstairs entrance and lock that as well. And I go, more damage. And then I enter into the conference room that I've indicated for the others to go into, and I expect to find everyone there.
Sure enough, there is a cadre of people and one very, very scary looking Javier Grillo. Not something you've seen before, Sara. This is new even for your 100 years.
What? I think we need some explanation.
I imagine so. You know I was called down south.
Yes,
There
that's
were-
the last time
There were events going on I was not entirely aware of. And part of the reason I was sent here is because I was not involved in them. Turns out my sire and grandsire were traitors and got a traitor's end.
Oh, so
Sort of.
that's kind of motions towards you in general.
You could say I was justly or unjustly rewarded, depending on your point of view.
Storyteller, quick question.
Sure.
Is the kind of dark fire, smokish emanating from behind his glasses, that's something everybody can see?
Yes, it is very, very evident.
Cool.
It is quite striking and distracting.
Is it very similar to the fire, shadowy experience that I had at the Chantry?
Wits and no. You know what? Wits and occult.
Okay. Let's see here. Wits and occult. Where are you? Okay.
Remember,
That
as
is-
always, to substitute your hunger dice in for regular dice when you make these kinds of checks.
Yes. Okay, so 2 crits again, and then 2 more successes.
That
After
would
the
be
2
6
crits.
successes. That would be a 6 successes critical. Nice roll.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you can put 2 and 2 together pretty quickly and correlate the events with what you're experiencing. There's something familiar about that dark energy. It has a feel, it has a presence, maybe even some kind of persona, you're not sure. But there's enough similarities for you to grasp that has something to do with each other. These things are connected.
Carlisle, remember that event that I told you about that occurred at the Chantry? The shadowy hand that stole a page from one of our tunes.
Yes, I do.
It is the same as whatever's afflicting your acquaintance. Family member?
We've all been affected from this recent event in some way, shape, or form.
No. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. What I am trying to let you know, it is literally the same. The hand that came out of darkness took a note from our book and then vanished in a puff of cold flame is exactly the same as what's coming out of his eyes.
Blanca, the abyss has multiple different parts, and sometimes it looks similar. CJ, could you, like, the difference between me and motion towards Jax is very different, yet very similar.
I know that I'm new here, and I haven't necessarily earned everyone's trust. That's fine. This is a matter of survival. You say that you were rewarded with something, justly, unjustly. I think it would be wise for you to say exactly what that was, because it is all connected. Whatever happened with the wraiths down at the hospital, the situation that occurred at the Chantry, and whatever it is that has happened to you.
Oh, it's quite simple. I was awarded their unlives.
Ah. Okay. Well.
And it necessarily is not the same event that caused all of this.
Those individuals whose unlives you were gifted. Were they interested in anything that the Tremere had to offer?
player to ST, would I know that?
The gifts of blood sorcery are sought after by many. And there's a lot certain people would be willing to do to gain that dark knowledge. The arts of thaumaturgy and blood sorcery are coveted, sometimes feared, sometimes eschewed as if they were hedge magic from some crystal shop peddling books and incense.
So I wouldn't know one way or the other whether they specifically were.
They're your sire and grandsire. Their desires for knowledge and power are probably very well known for you, if not ingrained into you.
So I would say they were not interested in that specifically. And I can assure you, I have not been to any chantry, let alone yours.
What you described could have been done by, I've seen the same thing happen in the middle of an Elysium.
Okay, now, ST, you probably do this better than me. I'm looking for it in the play-by post, but the phrase that you said that I heard the Wraith saying, what is it again?
As ST goes,
It's a Giovanni's name. I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So that name, right? Because I can't
Go
find
ahead.
it right now and I don't want to mispronounce it.
A Corey and Nady.
yeah.
Yes. I would have said that and watched for reactions.
Oops. Hold on. I'm clicking
Thank you.
around.
Akori Nani.
Corey.
Yep, I put it in the chat.
Yeah, just Akori Nani. Yeah. So Blanca would have said it. Looking at the crew here and trying to judge reactions.
I'm going to not react and hopefully roll.
Likewise.
Well enough for her not to notice. Got it.
You never know.
Doesn't know.
Anybody with any kind of language skills, intelligence, and academics can roll to decipher the Latin of that.
Oh. Okay. So what's that role? Academics and intelligence, you said, yeah?
Correct.
Did I use Hecata lore?
Sure.
Let's see.
3 successes, and it is my mother tongue. So Italian is my mother tongue, so it's the base of my mother tongue.
So you definitely account for Akori being some kind of proper name, and Nayeanum is definitely Latin. It means incantation. And the way that it's laid out in the Latin is the incantations of Akori. Anyone with 3 or more successes on that roll can easily pick that out.
Do I see any signs of recognition?
I rolled a 9 for my composure.
Fucking Jude.
Jude's a stone-faced somebody, except when he's not. Which is very rare.
I put a pin in that. I'm going to remember that.
CJ, yes, your lore knowledge, you know who Akori is. Javier, you know the name too. And Jude, if you would like to educate our viewers or players, by all means, please let us know who a Corey is.
Corey is one of the youngest of the council, the Sani council. Yeah, very powerful.
Siami.
Yeah, very powerful. Giovanni.
Necromancer of note.
Yeah. That's
So
all
as
I'll
she's-
divulge at the moment.
So as Blanca says this, it occurs to you now that this particular chantry has possession of something valuable to the family at large. And it was affected by whatever the hell Javier did. Or it's connected in some way. It would make sense for something so esoteric and potentially powerful to have been affected by the same thing that affected everyone else.
My previous words be echoing in Jude's head right now that they're all connected.
Oh no, I was fully like under the assumption, but I'm gonna deny it in public.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Any explanation?
Of what?
Of the name.
Jax, it's uncomfortable to be in the same room as Javier.
Yeah. I'm like in the farthest corner, just listening. Maybe slight hissing here and there, you know.
Jax has very overtly pointed out each and every way of out of this room is possible. And checks them regularly between changing looks to Javier. And the thing with his face is oddly attractive. It's pulling at a darker side of you that's kind of, ooh, what the fuck is that?
Oh, that is not where I thought that was going. Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah, it's a weird thing going on. Like there's this repulsion of fuck, it's dangerous, and at the same time there's the dark side of you, that tendril arms of Armand side of you that's like, oh, teach me your ways, Obi-Wan.
So I might just be lurking, slowly inching closer, trying to get a better look, but also keep a healthy distance for myself.
How does one do that in a conference room? I'm curious.
Good fucking luck.
Just like really pressed against the wall, kind of like sheepishly, and then like slowly sliding closer on the wall, giving some interesting looks, like
Okay.
you're really weird, but at the same time, ooh.
Jax, you know what? I'm going to allow you a charisma and stealth check.
No.
That's a combo.
Oh, no.
Amazing.
Actually, this is like one of my best rolls, so I can do this. But I lose a dice, right? Because
You
of
do.
it's a social. Come on, man. That's all right. 3 successes. Hey.
3 successes. So for all of you gathered, Jax is ever so subtly inching closer to Javier, has exited the chair and is slowly scooching along the wall. She's actually being kind of nonchalant about it given the circumstance, but it's not exactly subtle. Nonchalant, but not subtle.
Is there anything else I noticed about him? Because I know before you mentioned like the smell of death. Is that something I can get off of
Yes,
him too?
absolutely.
It is.
As you get closer, it becomes more prevalent. You could swear that even the chair he's sitting in seems to tarnish the metal pieces, discolor. The closer you get, the more you see where his hands land. Looks brittle. The leather of the arm on the chair looks to be dried and cracking.
So literally everything he touched dies.
That's kind of what it looks like. Even the table end near him seems to be overly dried. You can see it every now and then. A piece of dust will just sparkle off into the light and catch it just so.
Interesting. And I'm just gonna keep watching.
Yeah, I've never heard that name. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, it doesn't surprise me that you don't know the name.
Yeah, I'm not Italian. Italian, right?
Latin.
Oh.
Well, I can get information, I can give information. We can help each other out. We all have a collective issue here, especially you, sir. A big issue.
Is it an issue?
I don't know. Are you comfortable with wraiths appearing and attacking you and your people all the time?
We can handle ourselves, like I said before. Maybe the forest needs to burn a bit before we tend it. The Camarilla did not want us to be here. They wanted us to look like fools. They want to impose a blood tax. Let a little destruction here and there happen before we fix it immediately. While we're doing that, we can prepare. Later I can give you notes on what I know in exchange for other things. I still need to see your roommate or friend, acquaintance.
Friend, Ruth.
Yes, Ruth.
She's very smart, that one.
I need you and Sara to crack Mel's personal files and rip potential masquerade breaches down, because apparently she thinks it's a good idea to have a fail-safe of breaking the masquerade. If she doesn't stop it, it's supposed to auto-upload or something. I'm not good with computers.
Mel?
Wait, what? About
No, take care of it.
Your child thinks it's a good idea to have a fail-safe just in case.
Yeah, Blanca, he said that.
In case something happens to her, she disappears or whatever, she thinks it's a deterrent. So that's to her living. But she doesn't know that yet.
I mean, she's just trying to find a way to keep herself alive.
I understand it. I let her know that was our
Not the
job.
move.
That wasn't the right move to do, but she was insistent that was what she was going to keep. And she wouldn't listen to me. So I need it sponged. And then, Jax, you and I have to have a very long and serious conversation about what's going to happen next. Dr. Weiss could be there too, of course.
I think, yeah.
Remember what you and I discussed on our last trip about responsibility?
Yeah, I remember the conversation.
CJ, she's doing better.
Oh, I fully understand. However, I just need Jacqueline here to understand the full implications of it. so she doesn't think that we're just going off on a tangent because of past actions. We are attempting to give people chances here.
No, I get it. I honestly feel like you guys have given her so many chances. And I appreciate that. I do. I just, I know that it's gonna get to a point where those chances are going to run out, and something more serious is going to need to be done.
Dax, Ezekiel's voice creeps into your back of your head. They just want to kill her. She's yours. They don't want you to have her. They didn't want me to have you. They don't want you to have her. The cycle.
I mean, I know if this behavior keeps going, eventually it may lead to her death. You guys.
I want you to look into my eyes. I want to see you both thrive. That's not going to come at the cost of me or you.
I worked so hard with you guys to gain your trust, and for you guys to believe that I'm capable of handling everything here. And I don't want that to be ruined. It's just Mel is still mine, and I don't want to see her die.
You both will die if she continues on this path. I will probably die if she continues on this path.
Yeah, I get that. I know. I do my best, whatever I can, to help straighten her out.
Abigail's voice replacing that of Zeke's. They still see a kid. They just don't get it.
It isn't all just doom and gloom tonight, though. Luke,
Yes.
you'll be given a stipend. Javier, most of the farm will be yours, your domain, and a portion of that will be Luke's.
You're serious?
A new roomie.
When have I not?
You're correct. Thank you.
Jax, you and Dr. Weiss will have a space of your own as soon as CJ and I define those lines.
A space of my own?
Domain.
Oh.
With a babysitter.
Oh, for you guys to watch over me more.
No.
No.
So
Your personal haven. You know how when you come down to the hospital, you play by my rules.
yeah.
This will be yours. And when I am a guest, I will play by your rules.
Oh.
However, it comes at a price. You have to,
Of course.
you have to make sure that you don't fuck up or allow anyone to on your domain.
Remember the transparency thing that you and I discussed?
Yeah.
This is what happens when you move up.
Okay. I mean, I've gotten so used to the small room that I have, but it would be nice to have more space. So,
And you will.
okay. I mean, could I share that space with Mel?
We're going to have one last meeting with Mel. Depending on how that goes, if everyone goes out of that meeting alive, then yes, you can share it with Mel.
Okay. Thank you. I promise you I can handle it. And everything else that comes with it.
I wouldn't offer it to you if I didn't think you could handle it.
Thanks.
Speaking of things that come with it, what is a promotion without a bonus? Miss Dearie, that blue ribbon you are fond of wearing, do you have it with you?
Yeah, I'm wearing it around my neck. Why?
Can I see it for a moment?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to lose this. This is really important to me. What are you planning to do with it?
It is attached to someone important to you, yes?
Yeah, my mom.
Would you like to speak with her again?
Is
Anybody looking at Javier, wits and awareness? Yes, Blanca?
Oh no, I was saying me.
Oh.
I'm looking at him.
is that really possible to do?
Oh, yes.
3 successes.
I'm feeling extremely conflicted because, of course, I want to see my mom. That would mean the absolute world to me. But I also have seen what you've done and what your abilities can do. And, well, she's dead. And unlike us, the dead should remain dead.
Oh, she will still be dead.
As he says that, those of you who rolled 3 or more, including Jax, yes, sir.
I have a question. Sorry.
Yes.
I've got 4 successes and blood die failure.
Then you
What
have
was the
4
roll again?
successes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
What are you saying, Jax?
What was the roll again? I got distracted.
What's awareness?
What's in awareness? Okay.
Which I didn't make you roll because you're staring right at him.
All right.
As he says that she will still be dead, as he says that you can talk to her again, you see the inky flames grow as almost a confirmation. They become a little more animated, like there's a hotter flame or a colder flame, you're not sure, but they tend to flicker a little more and take up a little bit more of the space of his face, creeping onto his forehead and down his cheekbones. Even the lights in the conference room dim as he says emphatically, "Oh yes, you can speak to her, and she will remain dead."
There are like almost little whispers in my ear going, touch. And there's a desire to get closer to Javier, but still
With your hands or your
distant.
other hands?
My other hands, yes. So I still remain where I'm at because I still want to remain safe, but I do want to touch. So I'm going to reach out with those other set of hands.
I will expect a rouse check first.
Succeed.
You do not gain hunger, but that desire is definitely there. There's no questioning it. I need you to roll your dexterity and your oblivion, please.
2 successes.
It's not hard for the rest of you to see the darkness gather around Jax as she and Javier converse about her mother. In fact, there's a growing length of shadow that comes off of the two-dimensional walls behind Jax and becomes more tangible as they reach for Javier. Javier, you cannot mistake this. It is as if to you someone is literally reaching and grabbing with their own arms. You can see it as clear as you could anyone else. Though you can identify them as the shadows in the abyss coming from her, you have no trouble identifying that they're hers, and it's her intent reaching out toward you as you speak to her about this.
I just want to get a light caress.
Blanca,
on your cheeks.
yeah, this reminds you of that night at the Chantry. Those weird shadowy arms coming out of nowhere, because here they are again. Only this time they're attached to a person. Not something you've probably witnessed before.
Mm-hmm.
This is new.
I'm going to look to Carlisle and Jude and sort of bewildered of maybe some answers.
This is what I was talking about earlier when I was mentioning all of the stuff dealing with the abyss. It's all related, yet different.
Carlisle would
Oh, go ahead.
take his way over to Blanca specifically, and he would show her the oblivion sight as his eyes would become obsidian, looking into hers, and just simply state, I told you we don't have the best reputation, but among us, you are okay. If you were not wanted here, you wouldn't have.
Blanca, this is not the Chantry. This is not familiar ground, and there's some freaky shit going on. It's probably both exhilarating and a little worrying, and it's in your face. And this Javier guy that you've just been introduced to is causing shit to die around him.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
There's at least 3, maybe 4 other people in this room that have a familiar feel, spiritually speaking. You might even feel a little outnumbered and threatened at this moment. As CJ closes distance on you, Jax is reaching out with abyssal hands at somebody else. Jude as well. Jude. Luke, what is your reaction to all of this going on?
Luke's drumming. Luke's left hand is still taloned when he talked to Javier. And he's drumming all 4 of his talons on the table. And his teeth are kind of a little bit larger than usual.
Luke's becoming more feral amongst all of this other weirdness.
I would
Sara's
simply
guarding the door.
reach out for a bad hand on Blanca.
Mm-hmm. She will, you can kind of tell just in the way that her shoulders move that she's like...
She recoil?
Well, no, you could just see that she's ready to fucking knock someone out should they do something she doesn't
defensive.
like. Yes, but when he grabs her
He's
hand,
simply
she'll look
just
back.
extending it out.
Mhm. Yeah, she will look at him, take a moment, take a deep breath, look around, and then say, the name. Give me the information you have on that name I gave you, and I will help in whatever way I can.
I can talk to you later about it. I do
Yeah.
recognize something with the name, but to be honest, if you go around the wrong people and just say that name, you might die.
Death I'm not afraid of, but I choose my friends carefully, knowing that I would say to.
Well, that's just the beginning.
When you say that, you see her wrap a hand around a necklace she's wearing. Before she, or even after, she holds on to it for a moment, and her knuckles, if they could, go white. Despite her very undead appearance, you would see them go white for a moment. And see a kind of a little bit of a trickle of blood. She would reach into her purse and pull out a small vial of salt, and she wants to do the ritual to ward off spirits within this space. The medallion itself looks like a bunch of dahlias with a snake wrapped around it.
Before you do that, you need to ask Sara if that's okay, and then I believe Javier and Jax had something going on.
Cool. So as she's like, this is happening in motion, she'll look at Sara and say, may I protect your space?
I believe Javier and Jax have something to work out before you can do what you're looking for.
Javier,
Maybe after.
All right.
yes, sir, Carlisle.
How do I put this? What do I roll Storyteller to attempt to non-discipline compel her and enacting the first taste of the bond?
A moment. That is a fantastic question. Go ahead.
Is she bloodbound?
I one sip.
Then it's just
You have
charisma
a
and persuasion.
I'm looking
I
it up
didn't
right
know
now.
if I have to add anything to them.
So
I'm
while you guys,
basically just asking her to take it easy.
so while you guys are doing that, what was the mentioning of protecting this space? Like perfect timing. The whispers increase in Jax's ear, and they tell her, reach out, do it, reach out to her. And you see Jax almost, her body just, everything relax. Her physical body, she seems like she's no longer there, but her entire life is now into these other tendrils that are reaching out to Javier more. And Jax is just standing there, almost like a doll. Just
Javier,
a vessel now.
do you let her touch you with those things?
Well, first of all, I want to see if that's all that's going on. So I'm going to rouse for Oblivion Sight,
Okay.
and I do not get hungrier.
Excellent. So looking at Jax with those eyes, as you see the arms come out from behind and around her, and they extend towards you. They have intent. You can almost feel it. There's a want. There's a desire. Its true sense, hard to say, but you did invite her attentions via the mention of the ribbon, her mother talking to her.
Does it feel malevolent?
I don't know, Jax. Is it malevolent?
No, it's more curious and intense desire there. There's a want to pull you closer.
Did we find a role for Carlisle?
Yeah, you make your wishes known, and to defy the wishes in your presence, they have to make an resolve plus intelligence versus the bond strength, which we won.
And during this state that she's in, she says, "Yes, I'd like to speak to my mom."
You hear Carlisle, a tugging voice, certain timbre, a reverberation in his tone speaks loudly to you. There's a tug almost as he tells you to take it easy.
Several emotions play out on her face. One of which looks like it could be defiance, but she takes a breath and she realizes that these are his people, and that if he feels comfortable despite all the fucking crazy shit going on, that maybe she can take it easy, and so she will for now stay her hand and just nod to him and kind of lean up against the wall.
Ms. Dearie, as I said, would be happy to help you with this. As you can see, I'm a bit out of sorts at the moment, so we will make arrangements soon.
Do you allow her to touch you, or do you recoil? Because it only takes a couple of blinks to...
No, yeah, I'll let her touch
for
me.
those shadows to come across the short distance between the two of you as she's been edging along the wall, trying to get closer and closer to you the entire time. So yeah, Jax, there he is.
And as I say yes, there's almost an overlap in my voice, as though it was mine and someone else's. There's something else trying to come through. And I say yes, 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 and I'm stuck on a loop.
I sense there's another something involved.
Sure, wits and occult.
What's an occult?
You could add in your oblivion.
I don't need to. 9 successes. Critical. I got 4 crits and 1 single success.
Maraca strikes again.
Nice roll. Nice roll. Okay, so Jax, what's eating Gilbert Grape? What is hovering along with you that Javier truly sees?
It's it's fey magic.
There's a weirdness that accompanies those arms as they, I don't know, caress or touch at your own shadows and your own passengers. The abyss isn't as swallowing of the light around her. It seems to be in contention with itself.
Interesting.
And then suddenly everything pulls back. And I'm myself again. And I look at you and there's confusion. And I touch my necklace, the ribbon around, and I go back to the conversation as though that whole incident didn't happen. I'm like, oh yeah, you wanted my ribbon. You promised me it won't be destroyed in this process.
Those with Oblivion Sight can roll with a difficulty of 4 to have noticed this abrupt change as she reaches out to Javier. The weirdness in the air is still as palpable as it was 2 nights ago, especially in this confined space with these persons. Things are more manifest in this enclosed space.
Grillo would turn around, stand next to Blanca, and watch on since he still has the sight up.
Yes, sir.
So what is that?
There is something different about Jax. For sure. It is tangible and noticeable. You've spent enough time near her, in her presence, in her different mindsets and moods and extremes, to know that this is very, very different. This is akin to maybe that's something that you saw that you were previously unsure of is now affirmation in CJ's mind. Anyone else?
Okay, so other than Javier's very obvious visage, what is obvious about Jax when it comes to this kind of...
That shadows do what she tells them.
Okay,
that they come from her and reach out to Javier as you all converse. There's some interplay between the two of them. They are suddenly retracted, and she begins to act differently almost immediately. Like she touched him, and then something changed. The shadows retracted, receded, let go, and she began acting very differently. He affects the things around him. That is absolutely clear to you, Blanca. Javier is not your typical anything.
And Jax notices the way people are looking at her in the room.
I'm not hiding it.
Why are you guys looking at me like that?
Miss Dearie, I'm beginning to see why people are so interested in you.
In me?
Oh, yes.
We
were discussing something, and we, I believe, came to a conclusion to that discussion. You reached out with some shadows to touch me.
Look, I'll give you a wits and awareness, sir, and you can add your heightened senses, or...
Do you not remember this just moments ago?
I mean, I know I have these shadow things that sometimes feels like they have a mind of their own, but I mean, I control those, so I don't know. It didn't. know. And I look very confused and even concerned. Like, did something
Interesting.
happen that I did
It's
not-
okay. It's okay. You're all right. Just curious. That's all. Lots of strange happenings these past few nights.
I didn't try to hurt anybody here, did I?
No. But
Oh.
our discussion from earlier, would you wish to speak with the owner of that ribbon?
Yes, as I said, as long as it's not gonna. I don't know what you guys believe in terms of afterlife and stuff like that. I just don't want to rip her from. If she's in a good place, in a peaceful place, I don't want to take her away from that. But I would like to speak to her again. Is that selfish?
No.
No, in
Jude
fact, most of the
Carlisle.
places the spirits go is not good. It's pretty awful.
What do you mean?
Just that.
The void is not a pleasant place.
The void?
Yes, the void.
Is that? It sounds like a place that spirits just get lost in after they die. Is that what that is?
It all depends on how you treat it. Remember when you and I had our conversation in my office and you were calmed over by a specific wave?
Yeah, of course.
Where do you think that came from?
From that place? The void?
And do you know why?
No.
It absorbs everything. Everything. All your emotion, your happiness, all your anxiety, all your fear. You feed
All your
it.
pain.
And that's why everything felt calm in you, because you didn't have anything left for those few fluttering moments that you didn't have to worry about something screaming in your mind or any real life problems or issues. It consumes all. It almost brings people at peace.
That was a peaceful experience for me. So, I mean, if my mom's there, I would hope she would have be feeling what I felt. But can it be a bad place too? I mean, it sounds like nothingness and
there's no joy or happiness, excitement.
But no fear.
I also
No pain.
Maybe I hear that there are like creatures worse than us that reside in there.
No.
I think it's a lot like us.
Every rule has its exceptions.
I mean, I was raised to value and to even prepare our families for death. It was this big honor and ritual in carrying them over to ensure that their spirits get to a safe place. And now this safe place is nothing. I mean, I'm not surprised, right? Everything else was a lie there. I mean, but my mom being
Transparency comes with a price.
I just hope that my mom's spirit is at rest in this place.
Sometimes it's better not to know. If you want to be more informed about the situation, I have books in the hospital.
Yes,
And we can do this at
actually.
another time.
I I would appreciate that. I do want to see my mom. I do. I want to go about this the right way and know as much as I can before just ripping her out from a place that I don't know. I don't even know if she would really want to see me. I don't know.
I don't share your reservations, but I understand them.
It's not a no. It's just let me understand it better first.
Of course.
And then we can do it.
As I said, it's a bonus.
Don't you? Well, we have something else to give them, her and Dr. Weiss. With their problem. The thing that you're getting rid of.
Ah, yes. Progress will be much faster.
During this whole discourse, there's this strange tug of human naivety coming from Jack's words about life and death and what comes next. There's maybe a small pit of sorrow the 100 years you've lived, and now that's reality is gone, uprooted, and absolutely changed. You're now one of them. But there's still that tug. You've been a human for a long time. And seeing her struggle with this, I don't know, maybe it pulls on the mom strings. Maybe there's a cynical part of you that wants to like smack her up and wise up, kid. Who knows? But it's tugging at you as fresh as your change is. It's also as fresh for Jack's, and you know that.
There's a bit of incredulity about the naivety of the concept, but all in all, there is like, I don't think Jax should be alone right now. She thinks Jax needs to be cared for. There's a little bit of that mom syndrome or grandmother syndrome actually coming from Sara, and she tends to see Jax as a grandchild that she needs to kind of take care of, but also allow them to go their own way. The grandparents get the opportunity to be a little more lenient than the parents get to be. So.
Blanca, you're getting kind of an outside peek of the inner workings of the Hakata, the family, the bloodlines of death and necromancers. This whole interchange is probably eye-opening for a Chantry sheltered Tremere, one who's been at least not sequestered but cloistered amongst her peers and colleagues for a fair time, and breaking out into the world and being exposed to this, I would imagine, is pretty damn intriguing for the knowledge hungry. And how did this gangrel get wrapped up into this mess? There's some dynamics going on here that don't make sense.
Yes.
I also forgot to mention that with Jack's appearance and during that whole ordeal of something pulling on energy from her soul and reaching out to Javier, you notice her ears are oddly shaped. They're peeking out with a slight point.
Blanca sort of she moves off the wall and she goes to Jax and she grips Jax by the chin and turns her head to allow the hair to fall slightly so that she could see the shape of her ears. Looks back at her and says, "What were you?" The grip isn't hard or like, mean. It's just like a, grabbing of her face.
the intimate grabbing, just like before, when you had kissed her on the knuckles. Jax wasn't flustered in that moment, but now you grabbing her by the chin, she's flustered. What do you mean?
Do you let her touch you?
Yes.
Before I became what I am now, I lived long enough to know a little of this and a little of that. You weren't just human, were you?
I mean, don't be silly. I've been human up until now.
You were my chosen one, Jackie.
I mean, I've heard things, but there's never been a real explanation. And what you saw, it happened when I was changed, and my hair as well. Everything changed, and I don't really quite understand it myself. I just know that there are parts of me that are drawn to the way you guys live, but there's another part of me that is drawn to something else, and I can't really explain it. It's just there.
As she's saying that, ST, I'd like to ask a question from occult knowledge. What would I know of the Fae or things of that nature?
A moment whilst I look at your character sheet.
Yes.
Look where you guys are looking. Jude's gonna. Well, the dark gift is different for each of us.
That I'm aware of. But no, she's special. You all know it. You're all different, but she's special.
Yes,
and I want to know why.
Each chosen.
Special. I hear that so much, and I just don't understand. Sometimes I just feel so helpless, like how someone like me can even be anything as close to special. I was supposed to be special on a certain day when everything went wrong, and it's so hard to believe that I'm even worth something like that right now. And she starts to get emotional. And
Sara goes
eyes
next to
get water.
Jax.
So Blanca's hands will switch from her, holding her by the face to dropping by her shoulders. And she will say, every garden has a standout flower. One that draws more than just attention. Gives life some special in taking life. Don't doubt yourself. You may not know or understand why you are special now, but know you are special. Lean into that. Power is an incredible thing. You have it all in here. Let it out.
I don't know how.
If you ever want to come visit me, my garden is at the mall. Come see me sometime.
I think CJ's office can use a few more plants, so I'll consider that.
Good. And she'll step back to kind of give her space.
So Blanca, as far as your knowledge goes, there's nothing that you've seen here that hooks back into any of that.
Okay.
These occurrences are definitely not off the charts weird, but definitely meter peaking.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not enough corollary between what you think you know, what you've read, and what you've witnessed to make that corollary.
Okay. I will make a note to do some extra
Something's
reading.
weird. Something's different
Yeah,
for sure with a lot of these people.
for sure.
These
Absolutely.
are not the type of personalities that you've experienced at the Chantry.
I have made a dossier of each of these personalities. We're going to be doing some research.
Don't worry, your dossier's right here.
Luke, once again, it's an odd display of interactions between the myriad of personalities that you've encountered with this strange group. Endearing
kinda
or
like it.
off-putting, however it is to Luke, it just continues to get more of that.
I'm real curious about Luke. How'd he end up here?
He's
Jack? Also finally notices what's going on with Luke. And if you remember before the way that she acted with him, now she just seems friendly, and she goes over and she says to him like, whoa, like you have similar transformation to myself. How?
He stands up and he takes kind of a step back. Just in my blood, I suppose.
Just your blood? This comes with what you are now?
Yes. It does. You can see he's drumming his talons on his right hand now on the table as he's talking to you.
I'm gonna kind of show my own. Mine's are just nails that are really sharp.
Yeah.
Does it ever bother you sometimes?
Look, I'm not a person anymore, okay? This is what I am. I've accepted it. I've been like this for a while. It doesn't bother me anymore. It's just what I am.
There's almost a
Oh.
growl in his voice as he says it.
I see. I hope I can come to terms with my own as well. I kind of take a step back.
Luke, do your ears like flatten against the side of your head? Is there like this like hidden animosity that's manifesting itself on you physically?
She can see it in my eyes.
Is that feral glint?
Yeah. Getting more yellow. Eyes are becoming more, well, I guess it's more slitted and less circular.
It's definitely more of a gentle approach that she had towards him, trying to connect with another individual who seems similar to herself. And the way that she approaches him too seems similar to the way that she approaches the horses back on the farm and the way she interacts with animals. Very cautious, giving him space and a chance to smell her out and feel for her. Quick, short interaction, and then stepping away to give him more space.
He still doesn't like it. Luke has lived a life of kindred violence for most of his existence out in like the independent territories. And so he knows that one of the most dangerous things about kindred is that you can never tell how strong they are just by looking at them. And he paints Jax as a threat through all of his interactions so far.
Should I reach out to you too with my tendril? No, I'm kidding. It's okay. Shh,
Yeah.
Luke, to you first, the scent of death and decay slowly and gradually builds in the room. Javier, you notice it. It's palpable to you. You I think realize it for the first time that it's coming from you and it's getting stronger. There's this urge in the back of your head that says, probably should find someplace else to be while this rides out. You've noticed things starting to desiccate around you. The effects are becoming more and more prominent the longer you are in one place. The weirdness that everybody can sense around Javier gets thicker. As conversation progresses, he becomes more and more anathema.
Is more of the space, because you said before that like the literal wood of the seat he was sitting in and like the metal was starting to rust away and stuff. Is that like spreading throughout the room?
It seems to be becoming more apparent in his immediate vicinity, which if you start to notice and look around, yeah, it slowly seems to be getting worse and spreading.
Blanca.
It's not cool.
Okay. Not to cause anyone panic, but you seem to be somehow rotting away everything.
Yes.
Jude, to you, this is like icing on a cake. Like, you get to witness destruction manifested around a person.
You ever
Not
wish you
familiar
had a
with this
camera? You ever wish you had a camera just so you can record and watch later? Because that's where Blanca's at right now.
That's many of the family can do that.
Oh, good. Good.
Is that gonna happen to me too? Can I do that? Is that
Maybe. I'm not the most apt on what you know and what you possibly could know about teaching.
I mean, I'm okay without the smell.
That would be a question for your sire.
Gotcha. Which
I believe what Miss Rosa is attempting to get to is perhaps our business has concluded here for the evening and we should disperse and not allow cousin Sarah's carpentry bill to have to go up any further than it truly has to.
Yes,
Yep.
I concur.
That was my point. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, and there's been so much damage already. If you need help cleaning up, I can definitely stick around and help.
I'd appreciate that, Jack.
Of course.
Miss Strong, I would help, but my help will not be help.
Please, by all means, return back to your particular area.
Very well. Cousins, others, good evening. And Javi will get up and start leaving.
Joe has left, so if you prefer to leave by the back door, you are safe to do so.
Very well. He'll holler as he's already walking.
The moment he clears the room and you can hear his footsteps descending, the atmosphere in the conference room is immediately lighter. There's a thickness that evaporates, and if you were still breathing, would be easier to do so. The ever-present pressure near him alleviates itself as he exits the building.
Blanca will immediately collapse into a chair. Immediately just...
feels as if you've been holding yourself up with effort.
Yes.
Luke,
Yeah.
the stench that has been hanging in your nostrils begins to fade rapidly. There's no mistaking that he is the source of that. I don't think anybody in this room will ever mistake where that came from.
Sara quickly goes to lock the back door. After he has left, she'll go down, quickly lock it, and come right back up, just so that she knows no one's coming in.
So, what do we do? What are our immediate issues that need to be handled? How can I help?
I believe you and I, Blanca, need to pool our resources, so to speak.
I agree. You see her pull out her phone, and she shoots off a few text messages to her allies, and in the like vaguest way, as to not give anyone's, in the room, anyone's name, or you know what I mean, nothing that will link back to them, but shoots off a few messages of people like, I need you to look into various things like the Fae and maybe some things about the Hakata. The Latin phrase. Yes. So she sends off a few messages with that. Then looks up and says, "Give me a list of everything you need, and I'll take care of the rest."
I will.
She looks to the others. Eyebrow raised. Anything any of you need?
Suppose I'll need to surveil that new domain. Mr. Milliner and Jude.
Hopefully it's to your liking, Lucas, and you're satisfied with payment.
He nods.
Okay, I just would like to get in touch with Ruth and figure out that situation promptly.
Not a problem. I will.
The rest of the information would be on different occult things that are happening, not the family, because I can look into that myself. More so what the rest of the Javier Cam have going on, the earthquake. You can look at Marrakesh Farm, those that were there, maybe those that had anything to do with the incident, like one of the many incidents that have happened.
With that, she'll shoot off a few more messages of sort of to do with that, so that she has her eyes and ears out amongst the domain. And she simply nods and says, "How should I contact you once I have the information?"
Give you my cell phone number. You can contact either me or Mr. Milliner.
She nods and she'll take that down and save it into her phone.
Oh, may I have your contact as well, so I can visit and chat?
Of course. She'll pull out a black card, and this black card has, same as her medallion, a cluster of dahlias with snakes wrapped around it, and on the back in sort of like silver lettering is the phone number. She gives it to Jacqueline in the palm of her hand and closes her fingers over it. You come see me anytime you want.
Thank you.
With that, then. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Luke, Jax, I'll meet you downstairs. I have something to say to my cousins.
Sure.
Okay. And I follow behind Luke. I let Luke go first, keeping a safe distance behind him, not to bother his space.
Y'all, the urge to kick out the back of his knee just to see what he would do. Anyway, so Blanca will give a look to Milliner and say, "We'll be in touch," and then we'll also leave.
Good nod.
When they're gone and it's just Jude, Milliner, and myself, I provide some information to Jude that CJ is already aware of. And I do it in terms of ensuring that he understands that this is something unusual about myself. So the power that I have that CJ has witnessed is that I was able to heal Blanca's arm after the werewolf attack.
There was a werewolf attack.
First you're hearing of it.
Okay. Well, like I said, these gifts are different for all of us. I have no idea about kindred healing each other. You sure you didn't hallucinate that?
She didn't. I witnessed the whole thing. Even in the shroud, it protruded light. You don't get light in the shroud. Ever.
He's not wrong.
As well, there's information that I don't want to share with everybody. That these events are connected to the group that Luke invaded their space.
Which group?
There is the house we were at to rescue Luke.
The Ventru.
Yes.
So what are the
There's
Ventru
a ledger. There was a ledger in the information that was coded. It's all connected with their human trafficking.
Interesting. Is it leverage we can use?
Definitely.
Who all in the family knows about this?
You and CJ and myself.
I'm going to shoot off a message to Vincent and say we need to talk with the family at large.
There is, unsurprisingly, not an immediate response. You get the little indicator on your phone saying that it's been delivered.
It's good enough for me.
It's been viewed, but there's no response.
Deuce, that's all good for tonight. I think we should probably head back to our respective havens. Sara, do make sure that Jax knows how dangerous it is, and that we kindred always usually have an ulterior motive for being that.
I will warn her against Blanca.
Thank you.
And as you guys say that, I'm actually looking at the card that she gave me, and it's very the design, the snakes. There's something very appealing about it. I'm almost mesmerized by it, and I trace the lettering, and I even show Luke, and I go, Luke, have you ever seen something like this before?
No, I haven't seen anything like that ever, he replies.
Your beast would literally shrug the thought of it's a fucking business card.
Yeah, what the fuck do I know?
She goes, it's amazing, and she's just like so into this card.
Blanca will, as she's, coming down the stairs, she'll put both hands on Jack's and Luke's shoulder, give them a squeeze and a wink at Jacqueline, and we'll leave, get into her car and head off.
I jump a little bit by the action because it took me off guard, just creeping up on us behind it like that.
Luke kind of goes like, fucking really?
I watch after her too, and there's like this it's like, wow, she's pretty cool.
There might be some difference of opinion in that. Javier, when you left, you notice it took it a minute for your vehicle to actually turn over, as if the battery and starter were struggling.
But I didn't have to buy a new one.
Off you drove back to the farm. An uneventful ride, maybe one of contemplation. Rolling the conversation, the experiences, smells, the tastes, the feels, all the feels, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Retreating to the farm in the safety of your concrete crypt. Anything you do before hunkering down for the evening?
Yes, I would text Jude. We'll need access to the library when circumstances allow. Send.
There's Sara, Jude, and CJ finishing their conversation after everybody had left. You do, in fact, get a message on your phone. It buzzes in your pocket, annoyingly, as usual.
Thinking about like the damage that he's done to all of these inanimate objects, and reply, we will have to figure that out. You're not coming anywhere near these books.
I would reply, thus, when circumstances allow. Send.
Sara, Carlisle, any last notions as the three of you have the opportunity to converse?
Sarah's just surveying the damage of Javier's wake. And just like, again.
It may look bad in this small room, but it's not until you make your way back downstairs, walking past the bar, and maybe even back into the kitchen to clean up for the night, that you really notice the extent of his effect. Bottles behind the bar,
All my stock, right?
corks have rotted away. The scent of dried blood can be wafted from any number of now corkless bottles. Whatever stock was in the walk-in cooler has putrefied in some way. It's a total loss of anything organic in the kitchen. Even poor Joe, when you see him next, will seem affected by it. He might have some kind of rash on his arms or some kind of discoloration in his skin. He won't look the same. Jude, Carlisle, same thing. It's not hard to notice some of these things as you exit the conference room heading for the front and to the hearse. Sarah's despondent looks, her head shakes, her mutterings, her curses as she's realizing something's wrong with your friend, your cousin, our cousin now. And if there's nothing further, that is where we will conclude our scene for the evening. Viewers, we appreciate you going along for the ride, witnessing the aftermath of dark events, and indeed the first Storyteller boon being cashed in, and its immediate tangible repercussions of asking such a favor of your Storyteller. As Rico says so eloquently, we can get you blood, we can get you fed, but there's a cost. To all things there must be balance, and the ledgers must be accounted. And as we like to do every night when we finish up, we like to go around the room, get our highs, lows, and noms from our players. We hope you all have enjoyed the ride thus far, and hope you stick around. When we wrap up, there'll be a short PSA about mental wellness and our observance of that, the awareness of all the things that are going on in our world today with, the pandemic in Afghanistan and all the other things that are just beating us all down on a daily basis. Please be aware of it and of yourself and your friends and family. So let's start with Miss Blanca Rosa.
Oh God, I hate these so much. Okay. Have
Get
to make
used
decisions.
to it.
Okay. So, what could possibly be a fucking low? That was incredible. I'm sorry, I can't give a low. I cannot.
Fair.
I cannot, because that was awesome. I guess a low would be that, like, we just can't play this every day. Do you know what I mean? But a high, gosh, it would probably have to be Javier coming in and essentially just leaving a trail of literal death everywhere he went. I imagine this like ink-like black spot where he's sitting, and it just like it's slowly spreading through like the grains of the wood and shit, and then Sara just being like, my fucking restaurant, like it just
repainted. I just remodeled.
Exactly.
The basement's fucked up. You guys bring a warehouse into my place, and now this.
Exactly. Just stressed. But yeah, so Javier, this like reveal of this whatever this is, this void situation, is the high. A nom. Oh God. Okay, shite. Okay, can I just give it to everyone? Jax. I'm gonna give it to Jax because I really love the personality shifts of like when she first started, and that it was kind of this weird like a little bit like she had done Molly, you know, like a little bit of that, a little bit of this, like, I'm in this weird euphoric half drunk state. I want to touch everything, but I'm also a little bit scared, you know? There's a little bit of like sexual tension, seduction. Part of that was my fault, but I'm not saying sorry.
You're not the only one. Dr. Vice has already made out with my neck. It's fine. It's
wait. Love this. But yeah, so from going from that to Jax being herself, where she's kind of more timid and shy and a little bit scared of pretty much everything around her, kind of confused and doesn't understand her own power. So yeah, that's my nomination.
Excellent. Luke.
Okay, high, low, nom. I guess high is just gonna engage in some social combat, I guess, with Blanca, which was, I guess, fun. Luke didn't do that, but it was just a situation where you could act like that. Low, I think I kind of zoned out near some of the end stuff, so it wasn't that interactive, but I guess just how it is when you're recording for this long. And I guess nom, I'll give it to Javier. I think it's a really creative use of the boon that really introduced a lot of new, cool situations.
Excellent. Sara.
So, highs, the really interesting interaction of getting my feeling for the Hakata and how I'm interacting with the cousins, because it's new. They didn't really interact with Sara the ghoul as much as they're trying to interact with Sara the cousin. So it's an interesting dichotomy that we're exploring. The lows, my dog!
Her stock ain't cheap, y'all.
All of it.
So much expense. And then as far as nom, it's Javier. Yeah. You did a great job of coming in and having to do a lot more talking than you've had to do in most other episodes. So.
Jax.
Oh.
Yeah, you.
said me? Oh, okay. Wasn't sure I heard correctly. So I will start with lows first. I was really tired today, and I kind of felt like it may have shown through, but I tried to use it to my advantage with, playing off this whole, not being herself type of thing. I had a little bit of a slow start, and then finally I was able to find my energy and find my rhythm and get in, which was really nice. I just wish I wasn't so tired. For my highs, so many. Sara, I love you getting more involved and knowing more about your character. I feel like every time I play with you, there's some type of surprise that comes up with your character, which is great, and I love it. Blanca, you are just a breath of fresh air. I loved playing with you, and I love the potential that there is there for my character, Jax, as well. I finally got to interact with Luke more, which is amazing. That is huge. I look forward to more interactions as we continue to play. And oh my god, it was so hard trying to keep the Fae stuff. And I wish I was having a hard time at trying to communicate what was happening without right saying it. And then I realized the second time around when I explained, oh, there's this thing that's attached to my soul that's being pulled energy wise. I was like, why didn't I say that the first time instead of just flat out saying it's okay? But these are things that you learn, you know, as you're role playing and you're learning how to storytell and stuff like that. So I feel like I had like a learning lesson here in that as well. So that was a high for me.
Cool.
And for my nom, I have to give it to Blanca. I just love your personality. I love that you sometimes break character and let your genuine personality shine through. And it's almost a reminder for myself to do the same and not take this whole acting and performance thing so seriously. Like, we can joke around and we can relax a little bit. So I think that's what helped me get some energy back and be able to find my rhythm again. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Excellent. Jude, the tired
Yes.
man.
Yeah. That thing, low, 3 a.m. comes really early and I have to be at work in a couple hours. Hi, playing with everyone. Story continuing. Interpersonal relationships are blooming. We all like very well know our characters at this point and kind of react on the fly with them. It's very cool to see play out. My nom goes to Javier. That was fun. You don't need the experience, but yeah, it was cool to see that your character having to work around like this thing that's like very detrimental to you.
Notice that, did you? Carlisle.
I share in Chase's sentiments. I have to get up at 5 a.m. to drive down to the city to be on a boat to fish. So
To fish? Oh my god.
yes, to fish. It's a family outing, but of course I work a 16-hour shift to make sure I don't get stuck so I get to play. So I feign sleep eventually. Highs. I love seeing Mark pull this character out of his ass and growing fucking wolf testicles every single episode. And he takes his chances and he goes like edging. So like even in past episodes where he was trying to communicate with individuals.
Oh.
Oh,
no! Wait.
Or in
I
different
am
spots.
I
Where
am
did
not
cut off?
rearranging us.
That's fun.
You cut.
did I cut
Oh
off?
wow! I get to be Jude again. You cut off at
You're
you
growing
cut
wolf
off
testicles.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's growing some fucking testicles, and it's nice to see him pushing buttons and seeing how far he can take this character. And over the past couple of episodes of playing with him, I've grown more fond of just seeing how many lives he's going to have left. So that was definitely an entertaining high. But even on top of that, like just everybody's interactions, even four of us between the cousin family, all the stuff with Jacqueline, all the stuff with Shassidy, it's incredible. It's just so much fun. Lows, again, having to get up at the crack of dawn. My nomination's going to have to go to Mark.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. And last but not least, Mr. Javier.
Ooh, man,
Or should
where
we
to
call
start?
you CJ Milliner? Remember that game
No,
I
I'm
was
not-
talking
I'm
about,
not quite
playing
that
Know
good-looking.
Know Your Neighbor? That's coming.
Oh god. Shit.
Oh, yikes. Well, so low. Don't really have a low. Pretty fun. High is definitely seeing this start to come to fruition. So before I even talked to Sylvanov about cashing this in, I had been kind of plotting and planning for a few weeks already. So this has been a long time coming for me. So definitely that was the high of seeing that kind of come into existence in the game. So where it goes from here should be interesting, if nothing else. So that definitely the high. As far as MVP, I gotta go with Blanca. The reaction in the conference room it would have been real easy for you to just kind of like quietly panic and not do anything. So having the fortitude to try and like cast something in someone else's, haven, just because you're like some shit's going on, I'm gonna do this, blah. So that I got to give you props for that. So you get my vote.
Thank you.
Excellent. So for myself, high was definitely having the storyteller boon come out, because that's been 2 weeks for myself and Randy to hammer through that and figure out how to make it work. What should it cost? What effect should it have on you? And how is it going to alter the game at large and still be plausible, believable, and can be understood by not just the other players, but by our viewers too. So kudos. That was a lot of work. I hope we were able to do that. Did that work for you guys?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. That was my biggest
Believable.
concern.
Excellent. We passed the smell test. That was all I really cared about. As long as you guys weren't like, really, then.
Oh no, I'm into it. I don't know if you could tell. I was fucking into it.
So that was definitely a high for me, is getting to put that out there on the table and see how you guys reacted to it, the changes and the alterations, and especially that week's worth of build up play-by-post. Yeah. That was so much fun. that was really enjoyable on all aspects. And having everybody get touched by that effect, that was cool. And I'm glad everybody played along and got some enjoyment out of that. So congratulations, Mr. Javier, on cashing in a storyteller boon, sir. That was work. Y'all don't know. That was work.
Oh, man.
A lot of hard choices.
Yeah.
And thanks for some of the assistance and information, Mr. Javier, on those questions. Or not Javier. I'm looking right at Jude and saying Javier because he's sitting in your box.
Well,
thanks for your input and answering my questions about those specific things, Jude. That was very helpful in helping to bring this to fruition. This evening, Jude's getting my vote this evening because seeing him animated for the first time, like really animated, both in the play-by-post and here this evening, that's great. Seeing that part of Jude has been absolutely tickling me. So kudos, sir.
Just looked more deranged into the camera.
Everybody gets their 2 XP for the evening, and by the numbers, Javier, you do get an extra XP.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, everybody.
That was an absolute delight. Viewing audience, thank you once again for joining us for another episode of Prince William by Night, The Night Shift. We wish you all a wonderful evening, and thank you for being our viewers and going along for our ride. We'll see you the next time. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye. Hello, my name is Trevor Chapman, and I play Rico Suede on Prince William by Night, The Night Shift. I'm here to remind you that your mental health is a very important thing. We all have problems, and I do mean all of us. I personally have suffered from both clinical depression and suicidal ideation. Sometimes it can be hard to share our issues because we don't want to burden other people, or we're too afraid or ashamed of the things we have done or the feelings that we have to even try to reach out to other people. But friends and family are here for a reason. They would much rather hear that something is happening in your life and help you with it than to find out too late that they didn't even know and they couldn't even try. If you feel that you can't talk to your friends or family, there are other resources available for you to talk to. Please take advantage and reach out to them. There is no need for you to go through this alone. We all need help sometimes. There is absolutely no reason to feel ashamed or afraid to ask for assistance, especially if you need it right now. If you or someone you know is in crisis, whether they are considering suicide or not, please call the toll-free lifeline at 800-273-TALK to speak with a trained crisis counselor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline connects you with a crisis center within the Lifeline network that is closest to your location. Your call will be answered by a trained crisis worker who will listen empathetically and without judgment. The crisis worker will work to ensure you feel safe and identify options and information about mental health services in your area. Your call is completely confidential and free. Again, that number is 800-273-8255. If you are unable, unsure, or prefer not to speak in person, text the word NAMI to 741-741 to connect with a trained crisis counselor to receive free 24/7 crisis support via text message. You are not alone. Trained expert advocates are available 24/7 to provide confidential support to anyone experiencing domestic violence or seeking resources or information. Help is available in Spanish as well as other languages. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline toll-free at 800-799-SAFE. Again, that is 800-799-7233. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, help is available. Call the National Sexual Assault Hotline toll-free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 800-656-HOPE. Again, that is 800-656-4673. You will be connected with a trained staff member from a sexual assault service provider in your area that offers access to a range of free services. For the Disaster Distress Helpline, call 800-985-5990 or text the word TALK with us to 66746. This helpline provides immediate crisis counseling for people who are experiencing emotional distress due to any natural or human-caused disaster. This multilingual, confidential, and free helpline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, call 800-985-5990 or text TALK with us to 66746.